Thank you for joining. This is the Mass Media Group, and we're going to be going over the California State Controller's Unclaimed Property Division claiming website. All right, before we actually move into the tutorial, just want to make sure that people please be aware of any scam alerts, especially if something is sent via email, because there could be some fraudulent activity going on. So once again, please be aware of any scam or fraudulent email messages or alerts. And if you have any questions, you want to contact the California State Controller's Office, I'll have that information for you at the end of this video. Let's continue. What is unclaimed property? Unclaimed property is generally defined as any financial asset left inactive by its owner for a period of time, typically 3 years. California unclaimed property law does not include real estate. The most common types of unclaimed property are bank accounts and safe deposit box contents, stocks, mutual funds, bonds, and dividends, uncashed cashier's checks and money orders, certificates of deposit, matured or terminated insurance policies, estates, mineral interest and royalty payments, trust funds, and escrow account, utility account deposits. Unclaimed property is returned to owners in the form of a check from the state. How does the state get unclaimed property? California law requires corporations, businesses, associations, financial institutions, and insurance companies, referred to as holders, to annually report and deliver property to the state controller's office if there has been no activity on the account or contact with the owner for a specified period of time, generally 3 years. Contact is often lost when the owner forgets the account exists or moves and does not leave a forwarding address. In some cases, the owner dies, with the heirs who have no knowledge of the property. What efforts are made to find property owners? California law requires all holders, corporations, businesses, associations, financial institutions, and insurance companies of unclaimed property to attempt to contact owners before reporting their property to the state controller's office. Holders are required to send a notice to the owner's last known address informing them that the property will be transferred to the state controller's office for safekeeping if the owner does not contact them to retrieve it. The state controller's office sends notices to all owners of property that will be transferred to the state. These notices are sent out before the property is to be transferred, giving owners an opportunity to retrieve property directly from the holder. All right, so when you go onto the home page, you might see something like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to put in your last name or business name. If you feel like there was a business that you were affiliated with, or a business that, like, for example, a utility company or something like that, or a bank that you may have overpaid on something, you can go ahead and put that information in there. But for starters, I would definitely put at least your last name in there, and then I highly recommend putting in your first name too as well. And even if you have a common name, I would definitely put the last name and first name in there. And after that, you're going to hit search. All right, so you should come to this next page, probably something like get your unclaimed property, and it says search for unclaimed property. Let's go ahead and read some of the text that's on the upper left. It says to begin your search, enter your last name or the name of your business. To better refine your results, you may also enter your first name. Exact name matches will be shown first. Property for individuals with similar names to the name you entered will follow. It says this is a free and secure service provided by California Unclaimed Property to claim your lost funds. Once you've found the properties that may belong to you, click the claim button next to each property and then click the continue to file claim button to begin the claims process. All right, so as you can see on the screen, it'll say last or business name. So go ahead, put your last name in there, first name, put your first name in there. And if you want to actually narrow the search, you can put the city where you think this unclaimed property might be held. So go ahead, put the city. You can also use the zip code. And if you were provided a property ID, but you can actually just put the property ID in there along with your last name, and that individual unclaimed property will come up for you. But let's go ahead and continue. So I wanted to mention that actually when you go on to the previous slide, you might see some of the results that are actually at the bottom of this page. So depending on your browser, you may only see this page. So you're going to have to like use your mouse and then scroll down, or your finger if you're on a laptop, and scroll down to this next page, or the page that's on the screen. So as you can see on the top left, this is really a smaller image right there. That'd be on the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove this overhead or overlay right here because what you're going to actually be looking at is the bottom screen. All right, so let's go ahead and remove that. Okay, so now we're at the bottom of the screen, right? When you scroll down, so you're going to be seeing a number of items. So if you have only like one item that might come up into your results, then it will be one. If you have many, then it will be many results that come up. Now here's the thing, you're going to have to basically go by what your name, the business name, or obviously if you're a relative of this person, or you're filing the claim on behalf of somebody, obviously you're going to have to know their name, because it's could potentially come up with thousands of results on the page. So just make sure that you're claiming the right property when you go on to this. So obviously I'm blanking this out for privacy concerns, but what you will see is you'll see a claim button on the left. So it'll say plus, and then it'll say CLAIM, so the claim. You can also share this with any relatives or friends that you may know, and so there's a share button. So actually, as a matter of fact, let's go see what that share button is, and then we'll come back and continue this portion of the tutorial. All right, so this window is going to pop up. It'll probably say something like share with family or friends. So it goes on to say, if you would like to notify a family member or friend about their unclaimed property, please enter the information below. If you see multiple properties listed for the same family member or friend, please submit their correct information only once. Where it says family members or friends information, go ahead and put your email address in that box. Where it says your information, you have 3 boxes. One says first name, last name, email address, and you will enter that information accordingly. Hit send, and then it will take you back to the previous screen. So after typing in your first and last name, you may have, once again, thousands of results, etc. But once you figure out which ones are your property to claim, you're going to go ahead and hit that claim button, and for every instance that you think that claim is associated to you, your friend, or a family member, you're going to go ahead and click on each claim. So if you have, like, for example, like 2 claims, you're going to click on that claim button, those plus signs, and choose those 2 claims. If you have 3, then 3, 4, 4, etc. So as you can see on the bottom right here, I clicked 1 claim, and so that 1 claim is going to show up on the website on the right, as you can see on the bottom right. Once again, you might have more than 1 file that you're claiming, so it will show up. As I said before, you might have just 1, you might have multiple, but that number will show up on the bottom right. And so once you made all your files that you want to claim for your unclaimed property, you're going to go ahead and click on that button, and we'll continue to the next slide. All right, so once you get to this next screen, you should see the results at the bottom. If you feel like you need to remove this claim, you can go ahead and click on that X where it says X remove. Go ahead and click on there. Or you can hit the previous button that's above to the left on top, or hit that home. If you need to go all the way back to the beginning of the process, you can do that as well. But we are going to continue with this claim. So you should see somewhere on the bottom right, or close to the bottom right. Hopefully by the time you watch this, they haven't reconfigured their website, but you should see a drop down menu. Once you click on, there'll be a button right next to your Unclaimed Properties results. You're going to go ahead and click that, and some menu items will then pop up. There'll be another pop-up screen that you could choose from. Now, I'm not going to read all the definitions of these, but I'm just going to read some words just so you're aware of what you might need to choose. Now, if for some reason you are unsure of what to choose and you need some clarifications because you might be a business or or heir to something, then I would suggest either get a lawyer, an accountant, or maybe even better yet, even call the Claimed Properties services. All right, and you can do that at the end of the video. I will be giving that contact information as well, so definitely reach out to the controller's office if you have any questions. But you can choose yourself, myself, business corp, business partnership, business LLC, business sole proprietor, heir trust, heir will, heir court appointed representative, heir final decree beneficiary, heir intestate, holder, reimbursement, government agency, and bankruptcy trustee. And so when you're ready to choose what you need to choose, go ahead, hit that file claim button at the below, and we will continue to the next slide. On the following screen, you're going to enter your contact information. Now on the top of the screen, it should default to individual, but for some reason, if it isn't, you're going to choose individual and then continue with the last name. Or if you're business, obviously choose business. But yeah, if you are an individual, you're just going to continue with your last name, first name, date of birth on the drop down menus, as you can see, and your email address confirmation. You're going to say how to confirm your email address, your telephone number, and then at the bottom of that, or if it says if you're not a U.S. citizen, do not have a social security number or TIN, you're going to go ahead and click that checkbox. But I'm assuming in most people's cases, they're going to have a social security number. So go ahead, put in that social security number or your tax ID for your business. Then on the drop down, you can choose any country, but most likely you'll choose United States of America, and I believe it defaults to there. Type in your address, your first address, your second address, if that's applicable. Go to the city, type in your city, your California state. This is in the state of California, your zip code. And then underneath the zip code field, you'll have something that'll say, how did you hear about us? Obviously, you're listening to ETM. And if you heard about this information through ETM, go ahead and click on that media, TV, radio, newspaper, etc. on the drop down. But if you did happen to hear it from anywhere else, there's options for you as well. And then next, it says, are you a finder? Are you charging a fee to assist the owner with the claim, or did you enter into a contract with a professional finder? If yes, then you'll have that option. If no, continue. And once you put in all the applicable information, you're going to hit that next button. So if you run across this box that might come up, this pop-up window, just go ahead and you can either use the suggested address or you can use the entered address that you previously did, and choose on one of those options and then hit next on the top, and then go ahead, hit that next button that's on the bottom right. So your next screen should say something like electronic signature and preview your claim. Before you click on that button or that check box, go ahead and read all that information, make sure you're okay with it, then type in your first name, your last name, and hit that submit button. All right, once you hit that submit button, you'll need to upload some documents. Usually it's in a PDF format, JPEG, PNG, or TIFF. If you need more information on that, go ahead and do your research. But I know a lot of people are actually on their mobile phones, so you might actually be able to take a picture of your documents and upload it. That way you can also scan it, which would be better probably in a PDF format. I would suggest doing PDF, but if you don't have an opportunity or don't have access to convert anything to the PDF format, then just go ahead and try JPEG. And if the JPEG, PNG, or TIFF files don't work, then obviously reach out to the state controller's call center and find out some more information on that. And once again, I will be leaving that contact information at the end. So once all your documents are uploaded, actually, if you can see on the screen, you'll be hitting that add document button there. I believe you might have up to 5 options at max, but you're going to go ahead and hit that add document button, and then we'll move to the next screen. So once all your files are uploaded, you're going to click on that checkbox and then click on that submit button. Once it's been submitted and all the files have been uploaded successfully, you'll get a claim documentation ID saying that it has processed. And once you get that ID, you can actually go back into the system and check updates, the status updates, and we'll go to the next slide to tell you how to do that. So to check your claim status on the site, you're actually going to go back to the home page and find something that says check file status of a claim. It's probably somewhere on the drop down menu, so you're going to go ahead and select that, or probably like push it or something like that. So you're going to push that option, and it's going to take you to a search page, and from that search page you're going to enter the ID that you received for the claim ID, and then hit that search button, and it should give you the results. If you have any issues or questions, maybe even comments, you can call the California State Controller's Office at 1-800-992-4647. That's 1-800-992-4647. Or, so you get to the home page, you can actually contact them via email as well. So let's see. So you're going to go to the About option, and should be a menu. So you're going to hit Contact Us, and then it will have a phone number. Okay, I briefly mentioned that before. That's 800-992-4647. But once again, if you want to use the email form, you're going to click on this button. All right, and then this page will come up, and then you're going to put all the information that is required and requested in this email form. All right, fill that out. I'm not a robot. You're going to click on that and then hit submit. Obviously, you can put a message in there. I don't know how many characters it takes, so I just don't know. So you might not, you might be limited in that, but you can actually submit there. Hit submit, and then that is it. Thank you for watching. This is Emenda Mass Media Group. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. As always, please take care of yourself, your family, and your friends, and we'll see you next time.